All right, good morning and happy Bike to Work Day, everyone. Today is San Francisco's official biking holiday, and it is shaping up to once again be the biggest Bike to Work Day event in the country. In fact, we expect thousands of people across our city to be commuting by bike for the first time. As somebody who bikes every day, I want to welcome those of you who are trying it today for the first time. Let's give all of our first-time riders a round of applause. And of course, I want to thank all of you who bike every day. Thank you for investing in the health of our city, in your own personal well-being, and for making biking a part of your daily lives. It's increasingly clear that biking is a part of who we are as a city. We bike and we bike together. The fact that the popularity of biking continues growing faster than any other mode in our city should be a striking reminder of how important it is to invest in infrastructure. Too often, it seems like tragedies and mobilizations are the only way to see protected bike lanes delivered with urgency. For this, the 23rd annual Bike to Work Day in San Francisco, our theme is Bike Together. I think this really gets at the heart of why more and more people are embracing biking. People enjoy a weekend ride together and are healthier. The couple who commutes by bike together savors that time to connect. And families who bike together to school are happier, and those students show up to class ready to learn. Our city is a better place when we bike together. We bike for the well-being of our neighbors and because it's a great way to explore and to build our communities. And we bike to show others that a sustainable alternative is just a pedal stroke away. Biking together, we achieve more than any of us could hope to accomplish on our own. Just this month, the SFMTA completed 3 protected bike lanes on 7th, 8th, and Division Street. And I want to recognize that and thank the SFMTA, Public Works, and Mayor Lee for setting that deadline in his executive directive. Last week, also, the SFMTA board unanimously approved protected bike lanes on a stretch of Upper Market Street along a high-injury corridor. These are truly significant safety improvements for which I want to thank the board and staff of the SFMTA. And I want to thank our members, our over 10,000 members of the San Francisco Bicycle Coalition, who time after time unite and speak up for protected bike lanes which reduce speed, improve safety for everyone on our streets, and make biking more accessible. But a lot of work lies ahead of us. As a city, San Francisco has set some ambitious goals. We've committed to reducing congestion and carbon emissions by dramatically increasing the number of people who bike and walk. We have made a commitment to Vision Zero to reduce and eliminate serious injuries and fatalities on our streets by 2024. Paired with safety improvements for people walking, protected bike lanes will help us achieve these goals. But we're not there yet, and we have a long way to go. So one of my favorite parts of Bike to Work Day, my favorite day of the year, is the palpable joy that you can feel in the air. There's no single day of the year when San Francisco streets are more welcoming or when strangers all around are so happy to see one another. So let's dream of the day when our streets feel so welcoming to so many people biking every day. And let's put the elbow grease in to make sure that dream becomes a reality. Thanks to everyone here for your commitments to our common dreams, and thanks for joining in this celebration. Thank you for biking together today. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce, I'm so excited we got to ride in today, the Mayor of the City and County of San Francisco, Ed Lee.
Thank you, Brian. It's a pleasure to bike with you. You know, in my excitement this morning, running out of the house, I grabbed my first business suit. So I just wanted you to understand. That's why I'm in a different color. But, you know, when you're riding this route, and I want to echo all of the things that Brian said and say thank you to all the agencies and coalition members that are working together to make sure that our streets are not only safe, efficient, but to promote the fun and enjoyment and the exercise of bicycle riding. I'm a little bit out of breath, haven't rode a bike in a long time, promising myself and my wife got to do this more, but I do enjoy when we're writing this that I had a chance to talk with Brian. We're going to work on Howard and Folsom. Those are priorities for the coalition. And certainly where membership and when people going to work, coming back, are showing up in good numbers. 10% increase this past year in bicycle ridership in the city. Thank you very much. And so I will be working very closely with our Board of Supervisors, all of them that are here, working together to make sure we all are working together to do the right thing and promote this great exercise, wonderful outdoors. And of course, as I'm writing, I'm obviously thanking our police department for keeping us all safe. So thank you very much to our police department and everybody working together, not just today, but every day, and they're helping us figure out with MTA and DPW. Of course, I got my head down. I'm looking at every pothole, doing a little slur, so I got Muhammad on my side. And of course, I'm going on my 311 list as soon as I get it out to remember every single pothole, because if I avoided them, maybe others might not. And so I want to be able to do that. But we got good funding, thanks to SB1, to the state, to working with the board on the budget, that we're putting good investments in. I have been a champion along with the board of making our infrastructure be a really important thing. And as Carmen brings in all the money, then the board helps me spend it. We will do the right things to make sure our infrastructure is paid attention to. All of this works together. And of course, the big news is coming this summer when I'm riding with Jay and the Go Bike team, that we're going to be able to have, just in about a month and a half, 160 stations, 2,000 of the bike sharing right here in San Francisco. That's a wonderful, wonderful revelation here. And of course, that's not all we're going to do. I'm working with the other mayors in the whole region. Sam and Libby and others, we're joining together so that the entire Bay Area will receive a wonderful announcement coming towards the fall. But we're all working together. We're gonna continue this dialogue. Police and fire and MTA and Walk Coalition and Bike Coalition and all of the people and all of our businesses. We've got to all have better communications. And if the federal government ain't doing it, we're going to do it right here in San Francisco. Show them the way. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next up, we're going to hear from a member of the Board of Supervisors from District 6, Jane Kim.
Thank you, Brian and Mr. Mayor. First of all, I should note that the 3 protected bike lanes that we had mentioned this morning are all in District 6, which is incredibly exciting. I have to thank SFMTA for 7th and 8th Street. That is actually how I commute on bike to work. And the difference that a protected bike lane provides for a biker like me, who is a rather new cyclist, is literally night and day. Knowing that cars can't actually drive into me because there's a protected barrier between me and a vehicle makes a huge difference on my bike ride to work. And we're not just going to limit it to those corridors. 2nd Street is next. Polk Street is coming up. And then we're going to work on 6th Street, Folsom, Howard, and we never forget a protected bike lane on Turk Street as well. But biking to work is incredibly important in our city for so many reasons. As we continue to grow, as more people are attracted to the Bay Area, we know that everyone's not going to be able to continue to drive. And cycling, muni, and walking are going to be those alternatives. So being one less car on the road is my commitment. This is a big year for me. I've decided that I'm going to purchase an electric bicycle so I can try to bike outside of my district as well. Oh. But congratulations to everyone, and looking forward to many more Bike to Work days.
Great. Thank you, Supervisor Kim. Next up, please welcome the President of the Board of Supervisors, London Breed. Yes.
Good morning, everybody. Now, some of you know I went to UC Davis, which is a bike city. And when I biked in college, I never felt unsafe. It was just a natural thing to do because of how Davis was structured. And here in San Francisco, it's not the same. And we have to go in reverse order and make the changes necessary to make sure that people feel safe when they're biking in our city. It's so amazing to see so many people out. Folks who are taking their children to school on their bikes, folks who are riding electric bikes. elderly people riding bikes. I mean, this is what this city is all about, to make sure that we do everything we can so that our infrastructure works for the diversity of people who want to ride their bikes all over San Francisco. I'm happy to participate in this year's Bike to Work today. I hope you all had a great time. I want to give a shout out to Melissa, our leader, who got us here safely, and the folks in D5. Thank you, Neil, and others who rode with us this morning, and a shout out to Mojo, which is not only an amazing cafe, but also a place where you can go get your bike repaired and go pick up some parts. So come to D5, it's the bike place to be. Thank you all and have a good day.
Thank you so much, President Breed. Next up, I'd like to welcome to the podium Supervisor Katie Tang from District 4.
Woo! Yes, we're our sunset people. Okay. We had so much fun biking today. I think we were the furthest. We biked the furthest to City Hall. Yes, and we made it in good time. I have to give a shout out to Nomad Cyclery on Irving Street and 27th Avenue. He actually somehow knew what I was going to wear, and I got to ride a maroon colored bicycle today. But actually, more amazingly, the bike I rode today actually has tires that don't have tubes in it, so you never actually have to worry about a flat tire. So that was pretty amazing. So as the technology improves on our bicycles and our infrastructure improves for our bike lanes, it just makes it so much more fun to bike. And I had so much fun biking together, our theme this year, with all of our sunset contingency. And I just want to encourage everyone to continue doing this, and I hope that I can continue to do this as well. So thank you all for being here.
Thank you so much, Supervisor Tang. Next, I'd like to welcome Assessor Recorder Carmen Chu.
Good morning. So when I got out here, before it started, I got a bunch of folks up here making fun of me. They said, you couldn't have rode in a bike wearing what you're wearing, right? And actually, I have to admit, I did not. I'm actually not bike ready. So, I actually had hoped that I would be able to ride in today on a tandem, but there wasn't a tandem to come in today. But I'm one of these folks who never had a bike growing up as a kid, so I never learned how to bike. And as an adult, it's not easy to learn how to bike, right? Getting the balance right, figuring out how to steer, and then there are the hills of San Francisco, and then there are the cars and other things that are in the way. So I just want to say that it is tough to ride in a place like San Francisco, an urban environment, but I want to thank you for all the work that you're doing to try to make that space safer. I'm looking for instructors to help me with getting bike road ready, so if there's anybody who's interested, I'm looking for some help. But with that, Ed. Maybe by the time Ed's term is done this time, I'll be on the road actually riding my own bike.
Do a tandem next year?
Oh, gosh. Okay. So I guess we'll be doing a tandem next year. So with that, happy Bike to Work Day. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and for supporting all the good work of the Bike Coalition and the MTA. Thank you.
Thank you, Assessor Recorder Chu, and we're going to get you in one of our adult Learn to Ride classes. They're free, sfbike.org. We sure do. All right, next up, I want to welcome to the podium the director of the SFMTA, Ed Reskin.
Good morning. Thanks, Brian. Good morning, everyone. Happy Bike to Work Day. Bike to Work Day is really a reminder and an invitation for everybody in the city and across the country where it's celebrated to try bicycling, to retry bicycling, and it's because it's fun. And it's because it's good for you. It's healthy. You feel good when you've made a trip, whether it's to work or to home or to school or anywhere else when you make it on a bike. You're also contributing to reducing congestion, to reducing pollution. It's one of the best ways to get around. And in a city that has traffic every once in a while, it's also sometimes the fastest way to get around. So that's why, in part, that bicycling is the fastest growing mode of transportation in San Francisco. It has been for many years now. That is why we are investing $112 million in the next 5 years to build 92 miles of improved bike infrastructure in the city. Everything from protected bike lanes to neighborhood improvements so that we can get families and kids and people of all ages out on bicycles. That's why we're working with our sister agencies, with Public Works, with the Transportation Authority. I see Chief Hayes White here with the Fire Department. And I do want to say, despite what you might hear or read, that the chief and I, our departments, are 100% aligned and committed on making our streets safe. We sometimes have details to work out, but we are together under Mayor Lee's direction for us all to be working together to make our streets safer. And that's why we are advancing the mayor's executive directive. The protected bike lanes were completed last week, as you heard, on 7th, 8th, and 13th, with Public Works constructions underway on Masonic and Polk, and soon to come 2nd Street. And that is why we are all working together, everybody here, the great leadership of our board of directors. I want to acknowledge our chair, Cheryl Brinkman, the great leadership from the board of supervisors and the mayor. Everybody is fully aligned on achieving Vision Zero, eliminating traffic fatalities in San Francisco by 2024. So that's why we're here today. Bike to Work Day is a great reminder of all we've done, but as Brian said, there's still a lot of work to do, and working together as a city, as a community, we can definitely get there. So happy Bike to Work Day, everybody.
Thank you, Director Reskin. Next up, I want to hear from Mohammed Nuru, the Director of Public Works.
All right, morning, everyone. Yeah, I rode in with Mayor Lee and the team today, and yes, there were a few potholes, but, you know, make sure you make that call so that we know where they're at so that we can fix them. You know, coming off heavy rains, it's been a little hard on us, but we're getting there. With that said, it was a great bike ride. I want to thank all the staff from Public Works and all the other agencies that we work every day to make our city safer for riding. And Brian, you talked about a dream. Our job is to make that dream come true, and we are well on the way, as you heard from Director Riskin. Miles and miles of bicycle lanes are in the works, and we've been producing them. So we'll continue doing our best to make our city the livable city that it should be. Let's all bike together. Let's have a fun Bike to Work Day. Thank you.
Couple more speakers. I want to invite up Tilly Chang, the Executive Director of the County Transportation Authority.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Mayor Lee, commissioners, everyone. Thank you so much for being here to celebrate with us. The Transportation Authority is so excited to help support all the great projects that you're seeing, MTA's projects that they announced today, but really the whole city family has helped deliver Mansell earlier this year. Let's hear it for Mansell. Let's hear it for Vista Point. It's nice to get a regional project in there with Vista Point on Yerba Buena Island. We're also working with the board at their direction on Arguello. We're working with the community out at the farmers market for Alamany and improving safety with the Portland Neighbors Association. I see Chris Wadling here, our chair of the CAC. Thank you, Chris, for pushing that forward. Speaking of District 10, Hairball and Cesar Chavez and Bayshore, these are all coming. We're putting it all together. You guys are leading us in the community and our board, and we're putting the funding and the plans together to keep it going. Happy Bike to Work Day, everyone.
Thank you so much, Tilly. And Chief Hayes White, you want to come up and say a few words? And I see firefighter Mike Crean as well with her. Fire Chief Joanne Hayes White.
Good morning, everyone. Happy to be here with the other city departments. Happy Bike to Work Day. As previous speakers have said, it's all about keeping everyone safe in the city. And I applaud the mayor and all the other departments that have worked on making this a safer city for pedestrians and for bicyclists as well. I did not bike to work today. My surrogate biker is firefighter Mike Crehan, who biked from District 1 and is a member of the San Francisco Fire Department and does not own a car, bikes to his firehouse every day and has 2 children. Want to say a few words?
Oh, sure. Hi, my name is firefighter Michael Crehan. I don't own a car. I bike everywhere. I have 2 daughters. They go to Grattan Elementary School. And we bike to school every day. They ride their own bikes. So we're obviously really advocating for safer streets from a personal perspective and from a department perspective. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Chief. And Commander O'Sullivan, you want to say a few words for the police department? I want to make sure we recognize the San Francisco Police Department and our traffic commander, Commander Robert O'Sullivan.
Thank you, Brian. Good morning, everyone. Much has been said. I did bike. No particular outfit. I was instructed to put my pant leg inside my sock so that I wouldn't flip off my bicycle. But safety is key. We're proud and we're very happy, the San Francisco Police Department, to have partnerships with the Bicycle Coalition, Walk SF. I'd say, Brian, that you have much better weather today than Nicole had for Walk to Work, so you have a leg up. Outdone again by the fire department. I do own a car. unfortunately. But Vision Zero has been spoken about, and Vision Zero, as many of you know, is the city's efforts to reduce and eliminate all traffic-related fatalities and serious injury collisions by the year 2024. Please know that the police department, the SFMTA, the mayor's office, the Department of Public Works, and certainly the Bicycle Coalition, we were working together every day to achieve Vision Zero. You see it in the protected bike lanes. From the police department's perspective, we're out and we're enforcing those 5 primary collision factors that lead to deadly accidents. So please enjoy the rest of your day. Police department is very happy to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commander, and I also want to acknowledge Commander Lazar, who rode in with us from Glen Park on a Ford Go bike. All right, and finally, I want to thank the Office of Supervisor Sandra Lee Fewer, who could not be here this morning, but helped arrange the podium and everything for us. So thank you, everyone. And before, one last thing, I want to recognize we have some awards to give out. So those folks that are our bike-friendly businesses and our Bike Commuter of the Year, you're going to be coming up right after this. I want to recognize our Bike Commuter of the Year, Maria Stokes. Everybody give Maria a round of applause. And then our 3 bike-friendly businesses, the Tides Foundation, Quantcast, and Williams-Sonoma. All right. Thank you, everyone, all of our elected officials and department heads. Happy Bike to Work Day. Get to work.